Good evening and thank you for tuning in to St. George News at 8. I'm Scott Beadle. A mother and daughter were spared serious injury when the vehicle they were riding in skidded out of control, dropping about 20 feet down a steep embankment. It happened Thursday on Old Highway 91 shortly after 5 p.m. When emergency crews arrived, they found the car at the bottom of a ravine with the two waiting for help. Both were able to exit the car on their own. The driver told officials that she skidded as she was coming out of a curve in the roads and the vehicle went off the right shoulder. The mother and daughter did sustain minor injuries but declined transport to a hospital. Police are requesting the public's help in identifying an alleged theft suspect believed to be responsible for a residential burglary in Springdale. Springdale Zion Canyon Department of Public Safety officers looking for information that could help identify the person captured in surveillance footage. Officials believe this individual burglarized a home still under construction in the area of the Monave subdivision of Springdale and stole building materials. The burglary was originally reported May 5th. Anyone with information should contact Washington County Dispatch at 435-634-5730, and callers can remain anonymous. Earlier this month, the St. George City Council approved a preliminary city budget for the upcoming 2017-2018 fiscal year. The pending $218 million budget anticipates continuing growth and projected increases over last year as well. The tentative budget was adopted by the City Council during its May 4th meeting. A draft of the budget is open for public review prior to its being solidified and passed by the Council in June. The budget's general fund is projected to be $66.8 million, $2 million more than the previous year's estimated budget. New boundaries for 3 area high schools were adopted Tuesday in anticipation of the opening of the new Crimson High School in 2019. The boundaries were approved by the Washington County School District Board of Education during a regular meeting on Tuesday. A new high school, new intermediate school, and a new elementary school are needed to accommodate growth in the Washington Fields and Little Valley areas. Crimson Middle School is set to open in fall of 2018, and Majestic Fields Elementary is expected to open this fall. The new boundaries may still be adjusted depending on how growth occurs before that new high school opens. All 3 new schools will be paid for by bonds authorized by voters in 2013 when a $185 million bond was passed in a special bond election. President Trump's latest tweets have added a new level of confusion to the ongoing Russia investigation, including a tweet in which the president appears to warn the fired FBI director not to talk to the press, suggesting there could be hidden recordings. Lana Zach is following all the developments on the story out of Washington.
Should the president be believed that he may have secret tapes of James Comey? The White House would not say.
Are there recording devices in the Oval Office or in the residence?
As I said for the 3rd time, there is nothing further to add on that.
The questions prompted by the president's own tweets, writing James Comey better hope there are no tapes of our conversations before he starts leaking to the press.
The president, with his tweets this morning, has said things that border on intimidation. What we are facing now is a question of whether there's obstruction of justice.
But that wasn't the only tweet from the president that seemed to make the situation worse for the White House. President Trump also argued he's very active, so it's not possible for his staff to answer questions with perfect accuracy. And then President Trump suggested he may cancel all future press briefings. The White House would comment on one issue, disputing the claim that Comey was asked over dinner to pledge his loyalty to Mr. Trump.
I think the president wants loyalty to this country and to the rule of law.
But on MSNBC, the former director of national intelligence said Comey told him he was wary about accepting the president's invitation to dinner.
He mentioned that he had been invited to the White House to have dinner with the president, and that he was uneasy with that because of even compromising even the optics, the appearance of independence, not only of him but of the FBI.
Meteorologist Chris Summers has our full forecast right after the break.
The weather tonight is brought to you by Experamac. Experience Mac computers in a new way.
And welcome back, everyone. A happy Friday to you. A windy day out there today. Those wind gusts across our area have been anywhere between 25 to 50 miles per hour here late this afternoon. We've been seeing wind gusts as high as 36 miles per hour in Cedar City, 27 or 25 miles per hour in Hurricane, 24 miles per hour in St. George, and 41 miles per hour wind gusts in Enterprise. Now, winds will start to die down overnight tonight, but before that happens, we still have a wind advisory in effect, mainly to the north and to the west of the St. George area. Also seeing a red flag warning down near Vegas as well. These wind gusts, again, as high as 50 miles per hour, will start to subside a little bit overnight tonight. Could still see some gusty winds, though, around as we head into the weekend. A little bit cooler temperatures arriving, too, as highs today made it back into the upper 70s to even upper 80s, close to 90 in some areas late this afternoon. As warm as 89 here in St. George, 88 degrees Hurricane, Cedar City at 78 degrees, and Enterprise late this afternoon at 79, but we'll probably drop about 10 degrees off these temperatures for the weekend. That puts our highs back in the upper 60s to upper 70s in most areas. Now for tonight, we'll drop back to 47 in Cedar City, mainly clear skies out there, upper 50s to low 60s in much of southern Utah. Winds still a little gusty though, south-southeast winds as high as 15 miles per hour throughout the night for tonight. Now for your Saturday in Cedar City, we'll get back into the upper 60s. We'll go for a high of 69 degrees, lots of sunshine, dry weather continuing, southwest winds. Could be gusting as high as 20 miles per hour, but again, not quite as gusty as we saw today. And for St. George and southern Utah, we get back close to 80. We'll go for highs in the upper 70s. 79 degrees are high on our Saturday. Again, lots of sunshine expected with those winds still a little breezy out of the south-southwest up to 15 miles per hour. Now, weekend looks pretty good, though. We'll keep sunshine around. Again, temperatures not quite as warm as we've been seeing, but still looking like some very pleasant conditions for both Saturday, even Mother's Day itself, too. Maybe a little more gusty on those winds by Sunday, but still looking pretty nice even in the early next week with pleasant weather continuing through the middle part of next week. Here's a look at our surface map. Then again, seeing just slightly cooler temperatures coming back in to our area here in southern Utah. The warm weather gets pushed a little bit further to our east, but this cool weather won't last too long. As we get to early next week, could be seeing temperatures at least back in the mid-80s here in southern Utah. Here's a look at our forecasted highs for our Saturday, upper 60s to low 70s in most areas. A lone spot, though, will be Enterprise, looking for a high of only 59 tomorrow, 69 Cedar City, and 70 degrees in Newcastle. Again, temperatures in the upper 70s to near 80 here in southern Utah, from Hurricane to St. George at 79 with lots of sunshine. Winds still a little gusty though, west-northwest winds or southwest winds at about 15 to 20 miles per hour. Cedar City shows temperatures cooling off by the time we get to early next week. Low 60s returning by Monday and Tuesday. Upper 50s will return by the time we get to the middle part of next week with a little bit of rain chance too. Here's your 7-day forecast for St. George and also for southern Utah. 82 for Mother's Day. Again, some beautiful weather that day. A little bit cooler next week. We get back in the mid-70s Monday, Tuesday. Some rain chances by Wednesday with the upper 60s returning for the middle part of next week. But overall, weekend looking pretty good. But again, a little windy once again, but definitely looking like some nice temperatures and dry weather here for both Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, good couple days ahead.
Yeah, Mother should like that. The perfect weather for Mother's Day, I think.
Thanks, Chris. Up next, a real-life Forrest Gump. That story coming up. People in the streets of upstate New York yelled, "Run, Forrest, run!" to a real-life Forrest Gump who is running across America for a good cause. Rob Pope is running coast to coast for the third time in less than a year. He says he's combining his love of running and Forrest Gump to raise money for two charities, the World Wildlife Fund and Peace Direct. With just his sleeping bag and tent, Pope started his journey last September in the same place as Forrest, in Alabama. From there, he went to Los Angeles, then ran back to northern Maine. Now, the 38-year-old is running from Syracuse to Portland, Oregon.
It's just fantastic to see all the different types of environment, you know, sort of from the desert to the mountains to, you know, the lovely green fields of New York. So I think a lot of people sort of, you know, wish there were more people like Forrest in the world. You know, he didn't judge anyone. He generally just tried to make people happy.
Pope is originally from Liverpool, England. He says he's paying for his running adventure with money that he had saved to buy a house.
Well, it's for a good cause, and I mean, to run across the country a couple times.
Apparently, he really likes running.
It sounds like it. Likes to see the different country from a different point of view, of course.
And that is a great way to do it.
Instead of just driving by it, I guess.
Well, thanks for watching.
We hope you have a great weekend and happy Mother's Day.